What's up, people? It's MachtiSonni for CardRunners with my third part to the Quickie series CardRunnersEV for sit-n-gos. In the first part, we learned how to set up a game manually and analyze a three-handed situation, and in the second part, we already learned how to import a hand history and make analysis based on that. Today, we're going to do something a little bit special, something that I like to do a lot, which is analyzing the size of a potential mistake, or more like analyzing the magnitude of a potential mistake. And we're actually going to go to pretty advanced post-flop play and post-flop analysis. We're actually going to analyze turn and river decisions, which is like, ooh, since, well, ask yourself, when was the last time you, in the sit-and-go context, analyzed a turn or river decision mathematically? I would guess your answer is probably closer to never than it is to yesterday. So the way we do it is I'm gonna pick up a pretty interesting hand that I played a while back. It's, yep, this one. I have King 10 off under the gun, and I do open. I get flattered by the big blind, who was playing. This is not the HUD that I usually use, or I was using back then. This is the default HUD, but I had a very, very aggressive image on him. I think this is his aggression factor. So he's very aggressive, and he probably does flat a fair bit. He's playing 24-21. So he does flat, and I do hit second pair on an ace-ace flop. This is fairly safe. I have second pair. Yes, he can definitely flat with the weak ace, but having two aces out there is, I probably do have the best hand vast majority of the time. He does check, and my favorite line on a board like this is to bet really small to induce bluffs. Since if I'm ever gonna get value out of anything at all at this board is when I successfully induce an airball check raise from a villain. And well, he does check raise. Yes, it can definitely be an ace, but I do induce in order to try to get him to bluff. So I'm happy to see this, and it's crucial strategically here not to jam, because you're only ever gonna get called by ace X. And yes, you'll get called by Jack 10 and Queen 10 as well, as some worse hands, but we did our induce in order to induce a bluff, and we kind of need to go with that mindset as well. So we definitely just flat here in order to try to squeeze out another bluff either on the turn or the river. Turn to Jack, which is not actually the best card in the deck, because if he did semi-bluff check raise with the Queen Jack, he now has us beat, but we're committed anyway, so we're not going to be folding under any circumstance anymore. We'll be getting gigantic odds, and since our read on him is that he can still bluff, we need to give him a chance to do it. He does check, so here strategically it's imperative to check back and not shove, because here if you shove, we're basically only ever going to get called by better. So maybe some gut shots like Queen X or King X might be convinced to call. Let's just try to hit their straight. But we took our line to try to maximize our value versus his bluffing range, and we do that by checking this back with the hopes that he's going to jam the river. And river's deuce, which is a complete blank, and he does jam the river, and our plan works perfectly. We check back the turn and we get him to jam the river. And now I'm very curious whenever I see something like this to sometimes analyze how big of a mistake would it potentially be to actually go ahead and jam the turn and miss out on all the potential value that I might get if he's the sort of a player who's capable of jamming the river when you show weakness by checking back the turn. So the way we do this is by importing this hand to CardRunnersEV as we did before, and we go ahead and copy the hand to clipboard, and we open up CardRunnersEV. And as before, we go to import, we hit Ctrl-V to paste the hand history. Note that there's been an update since the recording of the previous video, so now you can actually choose between Hold'em Manager 2 and Hold'em Manager 2. However, when you're importing a PokerStars hand history, it's the safest the safest thing to do is to choose the PokerStars format. That'll at least work. So we hit OK. We're going to read the board until the turn, and because we're going to face a turn decision, and we're going to hit OK. And these guys will fold pre as they did in the actual hand, and this hand has been identified as a tournament. Are there currently more than one tables going? Yes, there is. There's another table going. We're 600 on the first table, so I'm going to have to set that up as well. 18 binds in the prize pool, $15 tournament. How many people are left? There's 12. We were 600, so we're going to assume that there's 12 on the other table. Oh, sorry, 6 on the other table as well. Not like it really makes any difference in terms of the ICM in reality, but we might as well be accurate. Or sort of, well, we're guessing that there's another 6 on the other table. We hit next, and here's the tree as played.